One.
Hey, this is Pastor Tony Smith, and this is the Man Up Crew. Give them a little holler, fellas.
Yeah.
And thank us. We enjoy you. God bless you. Today. First, we want to reach our happy holiday season as we journey into the Christmas, then the New Year, and then the fresh start in 2020. But I think this is our last show this year. The last show of the year. Great. So the topic we're going to talk about today, given by our producer Vanessa, is thankful for being saved, salvation. Talking about salvation, your walk with God. We talk about a lot of things on this show, but we do want people to know that we're saved. Amen. So they see us in the mall, Lexington Market, we still save. Chris, as you journeyed in your walk, what was the key point for your salvation? What happened in your life that made you say, I want this?
A party. And I don't know if I said I wanted it. I just thought I think I needed it. I found out I needed it. I went to a party, and afterward I kind of got scared. And like 2-3 days later, I kind of got scared. And
But you took some drugs or something?
No.
Okay, you don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, I've been coached. So, no, I was in West Virginia. I was in my bed, and I had my Bible. I opened it up, and I was like, Lord, I need you.
Wow.
I need you. And it was just me in my bed, and my Bible opened up, and like I was like, wow. I felt better.
Right. You felt better?
Later.
Is that the only experience you had since then?
Well, no, but I know that's when I gave my life to the Lord, because
Right.
I was born and raised in church, but I was junior deacon, but it was just kind of religious. But that's when I needed him, and I called on him, and I felt like I heard him.
His voice. Derek, military. What was your first experience in this act of salvation?
Mine was kind of a quid pro quo type deal.
Mm-hmm.
I had a tragic thing happen to me when I was in California, and I kind of wilded out for about a good year. And I told Lord, if He just let me make it through this time,
That's all of us.
when I get back to where I wanted to go, then I would definitely seek Him out. And He got me through everything. And so I walked my tail up into a church and gave myself to the Lord.
Wow, that's deep.
That's awesome.
Smith, Miles.
I got saved because everybody else was getting saved that day.
That day.
And I was young, so growing up, you got saved when your mother said, go ahead down there, boy. So I went down there with everybody else and I got saved. But I really gave my life to the Lord after my son days.
Wow.
That was when I really gave my life to the Lord.
That's a powerful testimony, too. Pastor Marcus.
Mine was a little different because I kind of was born in church. So I always was at home. I just wasn't always doing what I was supposed to at home. So it was more so just kind of slowly maturing and kind of being more dedicated. But I gave my life to the Lord at a young age. I was a child. But I've rededicated several times just in my
Last Sunday was one of those
Not
times.
this Sunday too.
Sometimes the word be like, hey, God, I'm in.
I thought you just put my foot there at the altar.
Dave, how did you feel when you came out of the wilderness? What was your experience in the walk?
It was peaceful. I ain't never experienced peace before, so what made me get saved, it was a multiple events, but the actual day I said I don't get saved was I went to Vegas. I was there, I was in the street life, I was there, partying or whatever, but I had, the week that I was there, I had sensed some peace. I ain't had to worry about washing my back, I ain't had to worry about giving no orders, I ain't had to worry about doing nothing to nobody. I ain't had to worry about finding a re-up. I ain't had to worry about drugs. I ain't had to worry about nothing. I was just there having fun, and I had a peace that I never ever had before. I was just enjoying myself, which I never had got a chance to. And I lost all my money.
So you had peace gambling?
Yeah, I had peace because I had more money, but I
Right.
lost all the money that I came with. So I was left with like $20, and it's like I'm feeling it, and that made me. It just something it hit me, and I was like, when I got home, I ain't have enough money to get my money out or to get my car out the airport garage. But then another lady had gave me a coupon for $6. It cost $26, but I only had $20. You feel what I'm saying? So she gave me a coupon. I got the car, and I'm like, boom. Then right then I was like, I don't know what that is. But then after that, like I said, somebody was already talking in my head before about getting in trouble and all that stuff I've been doing. I'm tired of it, blah, blah, blah. And just right then and there, I was like, I'm gonna quit. And I cold hard, I quit. I signed up for driving school, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? And I went to church that Sunday. Me and my little sister went to church that Sunday. And then we came back again the next Sunday and went to church. And I got saved.
Wow.
I got saved in Victorious Ministries International. Only reason I came over here because this dude kept on bugging in my ear about coming to his church. I was telling like, yo, how come when I feel like coming, I have a church, which is Wilson Park, but it wasn't really my church. My mother got married there and all my family was there, but it was a good church too. But I told him I just decided
It is a
to come.
good church.
I came on my own and I got saved. The Lord used Prophet Pastor Tony Smith to speak, and it made me let me down. That's when I got saved. But there was a lot of other stuff that added up to it. But that was really it. It was really that peace. It felt so good. It felt real good. I'm telling you, I had a little homeboy went to church all his life, right? And when my sister got saved,
That's the little guy that played the drums?
yeah.
Yeah.
We was like, yo, we should beat you up, yo, right now, yo. Like really beat you bad. Like why you ain't tell us like it feel that good, like you get that much peace. And coming from where I come from is like, I walked in hell all my life, you know what I'm saying? I was cool with it. It was all right with me, you know what I'm saying?
You're getting to what you said, and I'm gonna come back to you from authority on this side. When you accepted salvation, what did you feel you had to surrender first? Or was it anything you had to give up to kick salvation? I'm gonna start with you. Don't worry, I got you.
Mine was women, and a crazy thing. I had never. I was never that one. I never turned down.
Turned down for what? That was your song.
I never turned down.
That was your song.
Right, turned down for what?
Yeah, no, I never. That was never me. But it's like when that happened, and I was like, Lord, if you work this out, and man, I joined the church. I joined this church called New Antioch, and
Off of North Avenue?
no, this in West Virginia.
Okay.
And I went to the church, and I was doing good. I was doing good for probably like 2-3 months.
Yeah. And then you said yes again.
And then my freaking ex-wife, that's my ex-wife. I mean, it's a long story.
We don't
Funny
have
stories.
to. Pastor Marcus, I'm going straight to you to get us out of this.
Mine was cussing. I had to stop cussing because I started writing music and I didn't want to put cuss words in my music because I was always around music and I wanted to write music, but I never, really had gotten into it. And so it was kind of like, one of the things, it was almost like, if you want this, you're going to have to give me something if you want me to give you something. And I had to let cussing go. And I wasn't a horrible cusser.
I didn't think you was a good cusser
No,
at
I was
all.
a good cusser. I was a good cusser. Derek tell you, I was a good cusser.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
good. But but
You had melody to your cussing?
no. I was a real good cusser.
King?
Yeah. But yeah, I had to give it up, and
How about you, Miles?
Anger and pain.
Wow.
I had a serious anger problem, and that was one of the things that I had to give up because of everything that came about. The anger mixed with the pain of me beating myself up and
Right, I
having
understand.
to go through a true process
Yes.
of really finding out who I was, and that was it was really it was a real process of actually um, hearing from God, like for the first time. You know what I mean? So that was really what I had to give up.
Sergeant, lieutenant,
Um,
major.
All of the above. Uh, when I talked about my salvation, I told you that I promised God that I would give up, the stuff that I was doing. I kind of lied when I got back from Cali. I gave up some stuff, and yeah, you're keeping it real, right? So, the partying, I kind of cut down on. The women never stopped. Sorry about that, Lord. But
I think he stopped now, though.
well, yeah, I'm talking about back
oh,
then.
okay.
So
Fix
yeah, I
it.
had to once I got married.
Fix
you
it,
know.
Lord
Had to
Jesus.
fix it. Yeah, I had to. But so yeah, when I did all that, I calmed down a little bit. But then, God will always have a ram in the bush. The people out there don't know, but me and Pastor Marcus go back, for a long time. We're talking like red light, green light, hide and go get it days.
Right.
So I guess the Lord put me on His heart because He would call me every Sunday morning after I just got in from the club, talking about, hey, I need you to come to church. I need you to come to church. What you doing right now? Come to church. So, so the God got His way. But yeah, that was one of the things that I was trying to give up, and until I got pushed into giving it up. But it just took a little bit.
Dave, I want you to tell us what you had to give up, but don't tell like everything.
Street life.
Right.
Y'all know everything that come with it.
Right.
Every area of it, I was in it.
Hmm.
So I had to give all of it up. It wasn't easy because
Wow.
it was a process. I had, but I like to go when I'm in something. I like to go hard in. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this walking in Christ thing, which I had to learn first. I don't want y'all to think I just got saved and knew what I was doing. I didn't. I had to learn it, and by learning it, I was reading about a dude in the Bible named King David, and somebody shared with me that because I asked him a question like, how can I come and I can do God's work or whatever when I'm doing the devil's work? You feel what I'm saying? How you say I'm God's child when I do everything for the devil? I do everything under the sun for him. How can I do that? He's like, man, what you think you the only tough dude out here? He's like, God had tough dudes too. Disciples, they call them. And he's like, even though King David wasn't one of them, but he still was a major
Force to be
part,
reckoned with.
yeah, in the Bible. And he told me to read about him. Once I started reading about him, and I wasn't even saved yet, I don't think, but I was reading about the dude King David, and it was making me, I was getting more interested in God or whatever, because I was reading about him and how he had a bunch of kids, which I had a bunch of kids at the time. He had a bunch of soldiers, like 600 soldiers. I was from the 600 block. He had multiple baby mothers. I had multiple baby mothers. So this was interesting me even more. And slowly but surely, I was dropping stuff. I kept on to some things, like especially like protecting myself. I kept some parts, but it was all going away slowly but surely. I'm not going to say that I had got all the way delivered from everything, but I learned how to keep a lid on it,
Right.
better control it. Cause,
Control.
I don't really, yeah.
Yeah, that's King David. That's a good point. Is anybody here besides David can find a character in the Bible that says a portion of that is my image or my character? You see anything? Let me start with you. How about you, Smith? You seen?
From what I went through, it would probably be Job, based off of taking a loss like that and really being able to believe and trust that
Trust
God
God.
can get you through it, and you come out sane, because been around people, seen people like go crazy from what I went through.
Yeah,
You know.
a lot of people don't know that's listening to us that Miles, his testimony is he had his son had got killed by shooting himself by accident, um, and he was at a young age,
Yeah, he was 4.
4 years old. He took the gun out the bag and shot himself. So some things you never get healed from, you just grow, get stronger with it. So he has a powerful testimony. So and the reason why I brought it up is because he keeps saying what he went through, and I think people need to understand that tragedy comes in all different forms, but God. Yeah. How about you, Pastor Marcus? Is this character?
Yeah, one would be David as well, but from more so from the perspective of kind of like being consistent and diligent, but overlooked and not realizing that you had something of value that would be needed and that it was beneficial to Kings, but because I didn't know the value of it, and then I wasn't around the people who could see the value in it for good periods of my life, it was never seen. So kind of when David got to that place of, with me being a musician and understanding the value of what I had and being able to provide and produce atmospheres that would change environments, not just for a church service, but for individuals and things that they were.
So when did you find that? When did you say? Because we think the way you are was all your life, because we don't know your life. You know what I'm saying? So when did you find that place where you say that I have the oil for that anointing for worship and setting the presence of God?
Well, it really started with me and my personal time. I used to practice playing, for hours a day, and I wasn't practicing music. I was just practicing sounds and melodies, and it would always end up moving me into a place of worship. And I didn't fully understand it at that time because I really wasn't in the Word like that. Mm-hmm. So, as I began to study more, I started to understand what it was that God was revealing to me before He was letting other people see it.
Gotcha.
So even as a musician, I was always accompanying people, playing in bands and stuff and doing all of that. But because I was never one who was about give me the attention, I never was about trying to push out what I had. I would just go with whoever was leading said this is what we're doing, and then it would be times where they would say, all right, well, I want you to do this or do that, and then God would kind of show up in those moments, and people started seeing, that it was something different.
How about you, Chris?
I would say David, just the part of being maybe overlooked and then love to worship the Lord. Like I think it's unique how David was he was king, but he had a lot of faults, and he had a lot of faults, especially with women, and but it talks about how he was the apple of God's eye, and he was apple of God's eye because he loved to worship the Lord, and so that's why I relate to David.
Okay, Derek.
I wouldn't say a specific one, but I would say a class. Like, as I started getting into the church, I kind of realized what my role was to be a disciple. So I kind of picked different characteristics from all the disciples. Like, some people may even know that I even have little characteristics of Judas. Because, like I said before, when I first made that pact with God, to deliver me from what I got out from when I was in Cali, and I came back here, I totally disregarded. I totally turned my back on God. So I gave him that kiss. So I don't have a specific one, but I know I've been picking bits and pieces from all of them. But I know that Judas is not my end point. But just being a disciple.
No, go ahead.
No, yeah,
But I'm gonna throw a question to all of y'all, and I'm gonna let you start it. The question is, because y'all keep saying, when you fall in sin, you accept Jesus as your personal Savior, and then you have a sin moment. Is that backsliding?
No.
Because everybody, I made a commitment to God and I turned away from it. Can the commitment still be there even though your process is not reaching the level of your heart?
I think so. Correct me, any of my older brothers or pastor, if I'm
All right,
wrong.
I'm not gonna do this.
Backsliding to me is when you just say forget Christ. Like
Right.
you saying, God, I give my life to you, but then you go and be you go and accept another God, like another religion. I'm not gonna say a religion, but I think that's backsliding when you just say I'm done with God, like I don't love you no more, I don't accept Christ no more. I think that's backsliding. I think people think when just because you accepted Christ and then you went back to the club, you feel what I'm saying, you went back into the streets for a minute and you sold a dime bag, or you feel what I'm saying, you went and you picked up a bat or something and you hit somebody. I think they say that's backslide, but I don't think that's so, because once you're in the kingdom and you accepted it, you have kingdom life. So as long as you're still praying and all that, you can not be coming to church, but you still have the kingdom in which you still gonna pray every day and all that. But you probably stop your commitment. Like if you have a position in the church, you probably stop tithing, stop offering, stop doing your duties in the church or whatever. But
That's
that
not considered backsliding.
that's not considered. I think that's not
Right.
considered backsliding. You feel what I'm saying?
Because Peter cut off an ear, and Jesus said, "And go get Peter too."
Right, and the word says that a righteous man falleth 7 times, but what makes him righteous is that he comes back and he repents from what he was doing, and he's
that's-
still considered righteous.
Yeah, but the key is that he repents.
Right.
And in this day we live in, people
don't
come
repent.
back, but they don't
There
repent.
you go.
And they don't repent. They really don't repent. They just come back,
Right.
and we just give them high fives like they never left. But it's an act of repentance. In your walk of being saved, from the day you got saved to this present time, do you think that your forgiveness have grown towards those that spitefully use you, or for those that attack you? Do you think your forgiveness has grown? Can you really look at things in your life and say, if I wasn't saved, it would go another way?
Yeah.
Do you see that?
No question.
Yeah.
Anybody got something they can share without sharing the?
I
Any
think
shame to
I
it?
think I can give something. After I got saved, it was a lot of stress on me. Just dealing with job, family, whatever the case may be. I've always been kind of a pillar in my family. So as I was in the military, I was doing good for myself. So family members will always reach out to me for help. Back in the day, you come ask me for $500, $700, you wasn't gonna get it. But now I was in church, I was like, you know what, family, I'm gonna help them out.
I gotta remember that.
And then,
$700. I heard the numbers.
but then when you give it, and they say they're gonna give it back to you, and it doesn't come, how do you feel? And I was like,
Did that change your Christianity though?
see, and that's like I said, the old me, I'd have been knocking on somebody's door, be like, yo, bro, you owe me my $750. Where's that? But now I'm like, you know what? He needed it more than me. I'm doing well. I'll let it go. Now,
You still
If
want
you-
it back though.
well, I would love to have it back, especially in 2020. But the thing is,
All right, what's your
If-
call?
2020.
20, but now if he comes or they come to ask for more help, I'm not as forgiving as I was before.
So does salvation changes your priorities? Because apparently the money was a priority for you at one time. Like, you gonna give me my money, but because you're walking Christ, it's not that you don't want your money, but it doesn't become the greatest priority in your life.
Yeah, it do.
So salvation changes your priority.
It does.
It definitely does. It definitely
Change
does.
priorities.
It puts you in a place where when you truly believe in God, you know it's going to come back in return. And you're able not to judge and go based on how you used to be, based off of your stance and your belief in God.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. I want y'all to be 100 with me. What do you do as a Christian when life is bringing you some sort of win, some sort of challenge, and you don't hear His voice? What do you do as males? Be truthful. What do you do as males when? There's a political way to answer this, and if any one of y'all go political on me, I'm gonna get you real good. But I want you to be truthful. What do you do when life brings you headaches, challenges? pressure, and you're a Christian, and you don't hear his voice, do you fall short, or have you fell short, or is it, what's the pattern that you go through?
I take it how it comes. Because coming from where I came from, it's not always sunny days. Like I said, it's like walking in hell, you know what I'm saying? But, so as being saved, and then I go through, you know, bad times or stuff, and I don't feel like I hear God's voice, I just still just go with the flow. And just, I go with the flow.
The flow of your past, or the flow of the present of that particular time?
No, I go with the flow where I'm at. I don't result back to. I try
That's
not to
what I'm
result
right.
back to
Always.
past things. You know what I'm saying? I just go with the flow because I'm used to, you know, being from the street, like used to going through bad occurrences happening to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
bad things happening to you, and then it come again. You just, you know, it's going. It's like you say, you gotta just keep the faith.
Right.
You gotta stand.
I would say in the past I have reverted back and to like different stress relievers or whatever. But I would say that after a while, you know, God is so consistent that like he's just like steady Eddie. It's like he don't get all flustered. Like, you know, even the word today, he don't get surprised. Like even the word today, he don't get surprised. It's like, so after a while, it's like you build up your faith, you build up your tolerance. Well, okay, well, you know, look at all the things he's brought me through. Okay. And
Do we look at all the things he brought us through, though?
I think
You
you
should.
Sure, you do. Like, well, okay, well, all the things you brought me through.
Okay, you angry,
Well-
and you stop and say, I'm looking at all the things he brought me through.
No,
We do that?
because I'll speak off of recently. Get in a car accident, you get hurt, you go through like being out of work for a year. You can't play ball no more. You can't lift weights. You can't, you know, for at least 8 months, you can't even stand straight up. So, and I know I have strong faith. I know I love God. I know God loves me. But you get in a place, you can get in a place where it ain't that you don't love God. It's just you're so focused on the things that you're going through that you miss who you have or what you have. And the thing that I did was I couldn't come to church. And I was so used to being in the building and working and being active and ministering to the guys and then coming. And my wife said, you always have a word for somebody else. Where are you when it's time for you to have a word for yourself?
That's a good point.
And I'm saying, I can't find it. And it's a piece of you that you lose. It ain't that you lose it, it's just it's missing because I'm so used to praying and knowing that God is there, and you pray and nothing comes out.
No response.
Or you pray and you can't hear God. You
So
know,
is
and
that-
it's,
so
it's tough.
so is that-
it's a process
Right.
that you got to walk your way back to. And one thing that Dad said today is you got to stay connected. So it's somebody that you gotta still stay connected to and what you put in you. You know, so I would get up, leave the bedroom, go to the recliner, sit down, and watch TV every day. And before I knew it, I was depressed. Because, like Pastor Alpha said, I forgot to pray. I forgot to pray. You know, and I didn't understand what he was saying until he got farther into what he was actually ministering. And I was like, that was me. But it's so good to know it's in you, and sometimes you just need a hit to bring it.
So when you take the scripture, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's that part alone. What do that means to you in your circumstance? Like, if to activate faith, you got to be in a place where you don't hear him. Yeah,
Right.
you don't feel him.
For me, my way of dealing in those scenarios is I try to stay consistent with what I was already doing because I can in my mind think of how I can do this or do this or do this, but if I'm waiting to hear from God to give me direction or answer, if I go and do those other things, then I'm working it out myself. I'm not letting him. So I have to be consistent doing what I'm doing until he gives me what I need to do next.
Right.
Now, the dilemma in that is sometimes you don't know when that's going to happen or how it's going to happen, but that is not most challenging for me. What's most challenging for me is being a father and being a husband to keep them at peace while I'm unsure. Because if I let them get unruly because now they're unsure like I am, it's only going to make it worse. So in the same way that I'm telling them God is going to work it out or he's going to show us or he's going to tell us or whatever, I have to believe it,
You believe
but
it.
I'm still waiting until it happens. And I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing until he tell me to do something different.
So that denial and that rejection and that silence, does it affect your Christianity walk?
It doesn't affect my Christianity walk. It actually builds it because it's almost one of those things where it's almost like a test. You're so used to me, just like Chris said, he's so consistent. You're so used to me always doing, always being there, always making a way. I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to take my time.
And your faith
And
gotta
are you
stay.
going to change what you're doing because I'm taking my time?
You was gonna say, Tony?
And I was like, and that's your faith got build up through that time. So it's still like your faith is you still had a faith that the things that I said you still want to walk in or you want to become with it.
And I think one of the huge points was you got to stay connected because I had somebody wanted to do a point with me today, and I think it was like 12 o'clock, and I was like, nah, I'm going to church. I'll be at church, and I was like, you know, love the Lord, and I was making jokes about it, but I was like, no, church is like treatment. I was like, the difference, you know, people like, oh, church full of hypocrites. I said, no, people will go to church. Church is like a hospital. The difference is people that go to church know they're sick.
That's good.
Everybody else is trying to self-medicate. It's like you dying. It's like, no, I know I need help. So it was like, I need my treatment. And I remember I was just coming 11 o'clock. It was like, I was in past like, it was like, you need 8 o'clock treatment too.
Well, I'm asking you this, Chris, because you're saying something about work and your work is the way your work is structured. And you, with your Christianity walk, and I'm giving it to you, but I want everybody to answer if they can. With your Christianity walk, and you make your purpose to serve God, and you dedicate time to the God, does it affect your way of living financially?
I would tell you this. You don't work it. You don't have to. I don't have to work as hard. I used to think that my success was because of me, and I always say that's why I worked how I worked. Like 7 days a week, I'd be out of here. I remember I would come to church 11 o'clock. Never came 8 o'clock. Get out of here 11 o'clock, and then if you wasn't done by 2, which usually sometimes you weren't.
I'm doing real good, and nobody gives me
you
credit.
doing-
But I'm
man,
leaving it alone.
you-
I'm
like,
leaving it alone.
this is
Don't
always
try
great.
it. I don't want to hear it right now. Go
But
ahead.
I was gone by 2. So, but it was like, and then Tarsha brought up, she was like, you think, our success because of you, and it's like, it's not. And it's crazy how, but when it's all said and done, if I don't serve the Lord, it's like, he the one that give it all to us. So it's like, if I don't serve him, it's like, I'm just on me, and so absolutely, to answer your question, the short version.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there.
And the short version that I God blesses me. So when I serve him, God blesses me.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I think that is the case. The word, you serve the Lord, and he'll take care of, everything for you. He is our provider. But me being is like, having my own business is like, I don't get a paycheck like somebody who punched the clock. If the electric go out in their building or a desk damaged or a window busted, they still work and get a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Me, if I go to work, you know what I'm saying? If I don't go to work, I don't get no money because I have to pay first just to start the work. Fuel, just to take a delivery, or I got to get maintenance done on a truck or a tire or anything. If I don't go to work, I don't get no money. but I still gotta pay my bills for my company. You know what I'm saying? But I'm God will provide. You feel what I'm saying? So I have real faith in that. But it's still the thing of, if I just be like, I can be stupid, and my family be like, I ain't gonna work all week, and I know God gonna provide. That's not gonna happen, because He giving me something. But you know, faith is no good with works. If I say my company gonna prosper, then I have to put the works to it to prosper. You feel what I'm saying?
But have you ever been in a place that you was shut down and couldn't do it for whatever reason, physical, the truck break down, and God still provide?
Yeah, He still provided, but it was pulling teeth. It was like putting me in like situations.
Provide
I
is
don't
like
wanna be in.
surviving. God will survive.
Right. So He was giving me what
But
I
you
needed.
saying press down, shaking together, and running over.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but He is providing
Right.
when you can't provide for yourself. I think that we have to get to a place where we understand that he creates the foundation, and then we build everything else with it, and we can't limit Him. Go ahead, you can say something. Chris.
Real quick, I can tell you, Brother David, that I can tell you times when I give God more attention and my family more attention, I get it. It could be somebody do a policy like, oh wow, or it could be I've been in here and let's say thought and went to 8 o'clock, went to 11 o'clock, and I'm like, man, I'm thinking like, okay, I missed an appointment being in church, but then somebody will call me 5 o'clock, hey, I need this, I need that. It's just I know even recently I've seen it to where when I give God more time and I give my family more time, it's like God. It's like that part you say. That's the foundation. God, He's our provider. He's our Father. So when it's like a good father. Okay, I see my son's doing what he's supposed to do, and okay, and I know my son. I know my son's heart. I know my son's a provider. So you know what? I know he's doing this. I know he's serving me. He take care of his family. Let me do this for him. Let me give him another load. Let me do this. Let me take care. It may not even be a load, but let me help with his tax bill. I mean, because he control all of it. So I'm just telling you,
I'm down with all
favor in the marketplace.
Can I say one thing, Pop?
Sure.
You got time?
You got time, yeah. You got time. You got 5 minutes.
What you saying is right, and I'm down with all that. The time, you feel what I'm saying, the family, and also, but I just wanted to think about what brother and my team Miles was saying about staying connected. Connected is not just being able to make it to church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like he said, he was down, he was out, he couldn't physically get to church. Sometimes there's anything that can happen out here when you're at the mercies of streets, highways, anything, cars, anything can happen. You can't make it to church. You still have to stay connected by just not praying, but also reading and studying God. Because if you're just always praying, then you're not hearing God. You have to study and let stuff come into you too. I know you can sit at home and watch services, but staying connected is just not, being in a building. You still have a better, a more responsible way to stay connected with God than just praying to you. You have to, study, read. You had to.
I think you need all that. I think you need the building. I don't think none is less than the other.
Right. That's
I
what
think
I'm
you
saying.
need
That's
you
what
need
I'm
the
saying.
building, you need the fellowship, you need the word, you need the intimacy with God. You need all that to make yourself well balanced. Anybody over here want to say something?
That's a part of a relationship. I think that sometimes we discredit the relationship with God. We have the relationship with family, with, most of us are married, with our wives, all of that. Just because you go to work and pay the bills don't mean your relationship is healthy. Because you are going to work and you're providing, if you're not sustaining, if you're not providing more than just finances, if you're not providing emotionally, spiritually, all of those things, then they still lack. And it's still something missing in the relationship. So the relationship is holistic, and all of those things are part of it. If we're missing any of them, then the relationship ain't healthy.
That's true, because with my circumstances, me and my wife foundation was strong. What we built over time through being spiritual, going to married and engaged, and having the couples and growing together, set me up so when everything happened, God still made a way for us to have no lack. Because of the foundation I built in them, He didn't take it away from me. He rewarded me through everything that I was going through, based off of the relationship.
Derek, you was gonna say something?
So, we talked about, just the finances and stuff like that. But like my job, I asked for it. I asked God for it, to provide for my family, and He gave it to me. So to me, I figured anytime that God needed me, then I would be or do anything that within my possibility, my realm, or my scope to make it happen. So if the church calls, say, hey, we need you to come help paint, if I have the time, I'm going to be there because my job provides for me 24/7. So I'm not like a 9-to-5 person. So I'm getting paid 24/7, 365 days a year, maybe like 75 cents an hour, but that's the way it is when you boil down to it. So my income doesn't, whether I go to work or not, or if I'm homesick or I'm on leave, I'm still getting paid. So, but like I said, I asked God for that. So I know that when God asks of me, I feel obligated to render it unto Him. So
We use the word provide, and we always say we got about less than a minute. We use the word provide, but my question to you is, we keep talking about God providing, but shouldn't it be a part that we provide to and be consistent in it? You see what I'm saying? I think it's lopsided. God give me, God save me, God deliver me, but you need to understand what I'm going through. And I think there's got to be a partnership with providing. You see what I'm saying? And I think when we get to that place, then I believe that the word said we will fulfill, God shall supply all of our needs according to His riches and glory, because we're both providing something. Never think that God doesn't need something from you because He's giving you everything. He does need something, and what He needs is your commitment, your worship, your praise, your admirations to Him, and your love for Him. He values that. He needs your loyalty to the commitment of your word. And listen to this. And God will never give you an assignment that affects your destiny. He'll never give you an assignment that throws you off your destiny. So anything that takes away from your family, anything that takes away from your balance, sometimes you got to ask yourself, is it God or is it something I'm doing for myself? That's the truth. We got 43 seconds. What you love about the season? Real quick, one in 2 words. What you love about the season, this holiday season?
The love of family.
Anybody? He hollering out.
Family, yeah.
Fellowship.
Time with family, no work.
Family, no work.
Just want to be home.
That sound good. That sound with the remote control. And your wife saying, cook something. And you're like, no. Well, our time is up. We hope to see you next year on the other side of 2020. Back to Tony Smith and the Victorious family. This is Man Up. We love you. Enjoy life. Bye-bye.
bye-bye.